So I recently got a question from a Cricut user on how to add a clear window, or that would be like an acetate window, to a box that doesn't already have one in the file. So here I am in Design Space, and I'm going to show you how you can quickly do that. So we're going to demonstrate with the small tumbler box, our small tumbler box. So first I brought in the complete file, which is a file you can bring in all at once. When you bring it in, and I'll show you what it looks like, it comes in all at once, and I do have a tutorial on how to work with our complete files, but we'll go back. I already imported it and uploaded it, I should say. So the first thing I want to do is ungroup everything, so we have separate pieces here. And then I'm going to go over to the right here, and everything that's a solid line, because I chose the solid line version. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a link to what that is. That's specifically, usually solid lines are for people that want solid score lines rather than cut dashed score lines. So I'm going to come over to the right, and I'm going to select all the score lines. So on the left, I'm going to see things get highlighted as I select them. So you can see this one's highlighted. And then I'm going to come over here, holding the Shift key, click down on the next score line. You can see I highlighted that. And then the next score line, next score line. So I'm just getting it prepped, even though this is all about doing just the acetate. And then I want to change those all to score. So on the upper left hand corner, while those are highlighted, I just select score. And then on each one, I'm just going to go over, click on it, and then on the right hand side, I can click attach in the lower right hand corner, or I can click on it and right click and say attach. So that'll attach the score lines. So I'm only going over that because if you're using this file and you're following me from the very beginning, just remember you have to do that step. So on to the acetate now. So these are the panels that come with it. Sometimes there's panels, sometimes they're not. So let's say you have panels like this. Well, the panels can be helpful to hide the acetate if you want. It's up to you. But what you can do is just create a shape. So here's the opening up here. I'm going to just pull in a square. I'm going to change the color to like a light blue, just so I know it's, you could always make it whatever you think is acetate, whether that be gray or blue. I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to make it, and let's put it underneath. So let's go ahead and put this underneath this so we can see how big it is. Give me a second here. Actually, we don't need to do that. So you can see that I'm going a little bit above it right here. Then I'm going to unlock. So unlocking that will make it so I can drag it this way, and it won't proportionally size, and come down. And you kind of want to get it as big as possible so you have a place to glue around the edges. So we can go to the right, and you can see how much bigger on the top and bottom. So you may not need it that big, but you definitely, for the sides, if you have a box like this, make sure you have adequate place to glue. So that looks like it's big enough. Now here's the thing, you can just glue it on the inside of the box. So when you're making the box, just follow the instructions, and you could just put it inside before you assemble it. And then you could, obviously you can cut this out. The other thing is you can, if you had a panel in the front, let me just bring that backwards here. On the right hand side, I'm just collapsing these a bit, and I'm going to pull this panel piece above the square. So now you can see, I'm just going to click on it on the right to highlight it, what's the size here. So if you do have something like this, you can put it on the front. So if we were to do that, I'll tell you what the benefits of putting it on the front versus not. So when we go ahead and put this up here, you see that this front panel will have a little edge. So you could put it between this panel and the front of the box, but just know you'll have the the window will be showing on this edge. It's not a huge deal, but then you don't have the window inside if you don't want to see it. The other thing you could do is cut another piece like this and put it on the inside. So there are a couple options. I mean, the easiest is just to make it big enough to cover the opening so you have enough to glue around, and then putting it on the inside of the box. Most people are not going to look on the inside, so just make sure you just be careful with your glue and glue around the edges. So I hope that answers this question for a few that might be wondering. And if it was helpful, please give me a little thumbs up down there in the lower right hand corner. And I'm trying to do more of these tutorials as I get questions, because I get a lot of little questions like this. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below, and you can hit that little bell and it'll tell you when we have new videos and or products out there. And that's it. Until next time, and thank you for watching.